Good evening, everybody. My name is Jen. I forgot what I was going to say. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Friday, December the 5th, 2025. Welcome back to my Flosstube channel. If you're new, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about the cross stitch. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching and riding along with me throughout the chaos. So we have some things to discuss today in addition to showing my whips. Yeah, so I'm also recording differently than I normally do. I usually just do the camera app on my phone and record the video, and I'm actually trying through my editing app that I like add the pictures in. So we're gonna see how this goes. Hopefully I don't have to do this twice. Hopefully this works. If it does, it might make it a little bit faster for me, for like on my end. For you, it don't matter, but for me, on my end. Okay, so I'm also going to be recording a video going over the bake-off stitching that we're going to be doing at the beginning of next year, kicking off collection 5. So I will be filming that probably after I'm done filming this, and I will post that this weekend, probably tomorrow. And then that way you will be able to get your stuff together if you want to participate next year. So I will go over that in that video. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, I will go over that in that video. Okay, so I'm going to show my whips today, and then the other things that we need to discuss are how I'm going to tackle Flosstuber Frenzy and how I'm going to like kind of rotate through the whips I have right now. And I need you guys to vote for one of my temperature pieces next year that we're going to start off with. I need the voting now so that when I film my whip parade, I'll know which one is going to be in the temperature stitching. I don't want to wait until the end of the year to have you guys vote on that. So we're going to vote on that today as well. Okay, but first we're going to go over the whips. What did I get done? I did not get to do as much as I wanted. I say that every week, I know, but I really didn't this time because it's been a long week. It's been a hectic week. I filmed Friday, so I didn't get a lot of stitching done. Had the kids this week, so Saturday I got a good amount of stitching done, but not as much as I would have if I didn't have, as the weeks I don't have them. I worked in the ER on Sunday, and then I worked in the clinic Monday through today. So, and pretty much I'm working one weekend day every weekend this month, except for next weekend. I'm off both days, but next Sunday is my cookie baking day. So I'm going to go to my mom's house and we are going to become a bakery and bake hundreds of cookies. Now hundreds of types of cookies, but of course, you know, usually cookie dough when you make a batch of cookie dough, it makes a few dozen. And so, yeah, at least 100 cookies. It's going to be an all day thing. So anyway, all that to say, I'm not sure how much stitching I'm going to be able to get done in the month of December, and I have to film a whip parade at some point this month. Lachlan's birthday is next Friday, so I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so here's my board. So I only got to one of my temperature pieces. I did work on Honeymoon Sunset. I did not get to Portals. I worked on 5 Flosstuber Frenzy pieces. I only did a few stitches on one of my gridiron grind pieces, and I was able to knock off one more of my bake-off catch-up stitching. I told you I didn't get a lot done. Not as much as I usually do. This is honestly probably one of my lower weeks of stitching. honestly. So let's go ahead and get into the whips. What did I get done? Okay, so Flosstuber Frenzy. If you are unfamiliar with Flosstuber Frenzy, if you are familiar with it, you're going to have to listen to this, because I saw someone post on a Facebook group. What is it? So I'm gonna tell you. Flosstuber Frenzy is a game created by the alchemist Stitcher. She was inspired by Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff for the different games on the competitive reality shows that Jessie Marie likes to watch. Alchemist Stitcher does not watch those shows, but she likes the ideas, so she came up with a game called Flosstuber Frenzy. She picked 12 Flosstubers, and every time they post, she does like 200 stitches. A few of us have seen that, myself included, and we all really liked the idea and we wanted to participate as well. Me being me, I said, how can I make this more complicated? And I watched Jessie Marie's video the other day, last night, and she had said that as well. Me and her are just alike, where we're like, how can we make this more complicated? Or maybe she just said that about me. I'm not really sure. But I decided to do 21 Flosstubers because I had a really hard time narrowing it down to 12. Because I had a handful of them that I am, of course, not friends in person. I don't go over to their house or anything. But they're my friends. Like, you know, I chat with them on a regular basis. Well, that would have taken up a good portion of my frenzy, but I had other Flosstubers that I wanted to include. Now, on top of this 21, there are more that I would love to include, but let's be realistic. I can't even stay caught up with the 21 I got now. So, 21 Flosstubers I have selected. That does not mean that's all I watch. That does not mean that I don't like the other ones that are on the list. That's just the people that I picked. And I have varying stitch counts for things that they post in their updates. So if they post a short, or they do a live stream, or if they post a stitch with me or a Flosstube extra, anything that's not a regular update, I do 50 stitches on the whip I assign to their channel. If they post a regular update, my updated stitch counts are: the first update of the month is 500 stitches on their whip. The second update of the month will be 200 stitches on their whip. Any other update, so for the weekly ones, that updates 3 and 4 will drop down to 100 stitches per whip. I did it that way because life happens, and somebody who is normally a weekly stitcher could have a life happen, Darren, and not be able to post for a month. So when he does post again, I'll be able to throw a lot of stitches in on his whip, as opposed to just doing 100 because he's normally a weekly poster. So that's why I'm doing it that way. So those stitches for just the update itself. If they show a whip that matches one that I have started already, not one I'm actively working on, but one that I know that I have, then that is 50 stitches per matching whip. I think so it's per matching whip. I am making an exception for Dizzy Stitcher, for Darren, because he has that piece right there as one of his temperature whips right now. I don't know if he's going to keep doing temperature stitching next year, and if he does, I don't know if he's going to keep Glory of Autumn in the temperature rotation, but he does have that whip right there. Technically, that is a finish for me, but I am counting it if he shows it. So any whip that matches mine is going to be 50 stitches. If they show a finish, or if they hit a milestone on one of their projects, like they hit 10%, they get a page finish, they get, 30,000 stitches, or, something like that. If they celebrate a milestone on their whip, then it's going to be 50 stitches for that. Any new starts that they show will be 100 stitches per new start. And for every 10 whips that they show, I will do 50 stitches on their whip. So if they show 9, they get 50 stitches. If they show 11, they get 100. If they show 19, they get 100. So yeah, so for every 10 whips that they show will be 50 stitches. And that's what I'm doing. Have I caught up on everybody's videos? No, I have not. There's some people that have posted in the past couple days. I haven't been able to watch their stuff yet. So, and yeah, and I'm very far behind on my stitching with that, but it's okay. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Do I wish I was more caught up? Of course I do, but it's fine. I have a new way of tackling Flosstuber Frenzy that I'm going to start this week, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to work out a little bit better for me, which I will talk about later because I want to get to the whips because I've been filming for 10 minutes and 59 seconds, 11 minutes and 1 second, and I haven't even showed my first whip. So let's get into it. First one up for floss, I'm going to do Flosstuber Frenzy first because the people I've actively worked on their whips, I'm going to tag them in the description box down below so they can see what I did. So first up is Siski Stitches. Her piece is not that one. It's not this one. This is on the same fabric. It's not that piece. I have that on the other side of the, like on the other end of the fabric. Her piece is this one. I was like, that doesn't look like a raccoon. Her piece is Rambunctious Raccoons. This is by designed by Cheryl Granda. Charted. It's Glendon Place. She's the designer for Glendon Place. Fun fact, I mentioned this a long time ago, but fun fact, she lives in my area. I didn't know that until like earlier this year. No, it was a few years ago because I was living in the apartment when I discovered this, and I was like, oh my God, she lives like less, you know, she lives like 5 miles away from me. Now it's a little bit longer because I moved a little bit further south, not much though. But yeah, she lives in my immediate area. I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, I wonder if I've ever seen her in Publix or Aldi. But yeah, so Siski's piece is Rambunctious Raccoons. I am Gracie. I am doing this with the Call for DMC, and I'm doing it 2/2 full cross on a 28 count Lugana in the color Oxygen by Atomic Range Fabrics. And don't get excited, I didn't do a lot. See, here's the owl. There's the owl. Okay, so I was able to put in 200 stitches on this, and most of it, I got a little bit of the tree done, but most of it, what did I do? A leaf? I did a leaf. Backstitch. I got the raccoon completely backstitched. That was what I accomplished this week on this one. So the cute little owl in the pajamas is now done. I just need for this part, for this section to be done, not counting the tree, I just need to do 2 more leaves. 2? Yeah, 2 more leaves, and then this section will be done. But I had these colors handy, and I was like, let me just work on some trees. So I started working the tree up. So yeah, next time this comes out, I may go ahead. I don't know if I'm going to do these 2 leaves now or if I'm going to wait until, because my plan is going to be to kind of come up here, and there's this kind of come up this way and do this branch. So I may wait until I'm closer to these leaves before I pull the colors out to do those 2. But yeah. So there's that. I did see Siski post that she is kind of like taking a step back and taking a break from filming for a little bit while she kind of figures out her stitchiness, which is totally cool. And so we'll see what happens. She's gonna get to posting. She just doesn't know when or how often or what have you. So, yeah. Okay, next up is going to be for Carla's stitching journey. And her piece is Christmas Rules. This is by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I believe, did you guys start it yet? The Absent-Minded Stitchers. They were playing a war game with autumn rules, which I have waiting to be started. And I believe for the month of December, they're going to be playing war with Christmas rules. So just a brief rundown so you have an idea. They are going to be playing the game War with the cards, and they have stitch counts based off of what the card values are, and they're working on the same piece, and whoever, like, go check their channel out. It's really entertaining, but basically whoever wins that little deal of the war, they get to put more stitches on their piece, and basically whoever gets to finish their piece first based off of those stitches, they're the winner. I don't know if they're doing a prize for the winner or what, but yeah, they're going to be doing this piece in December with their little war game. It's going to be super entertaining. I haven't gotten to catch up on their channel. I can't remember if they've already started it, but I do remember them saying that, well, we're only the 5th of December, so, but I do remember them saying they were going to pause autumn rules and they were going to switch to Christmas rules. So go check them out. I'm going to tag them down below too. So Terry and Joe, that's why you're tagged. Okay. All right. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how to show this. I was only able to do, like I said, I did not get a lot of stitches done on this stuff. Let me move my board so I'm not having to like do this number. Okay. Here we go. So I was able to do 200 stitches on this one as well. So I got the tree done. This tree right here. I think I got the tree done. I think I did all of it. Did I do all of it? I believe so. Looks like I did. Started working on the snowflakes, working on that present. I brought this little border out a little bit more. So I'm gonna keep chipping away at this bit by bit. And I believe Carla, oh, I forgot to say, I'm doing this with DMC. It does call for a couple specialty flosses, but I'm doing the DMC conversion. That's everything I've done so far. And I'm doing this on a 16 count, like grayish Aida. I don't know the color. I believe Carla is actually going to be starting this. I had picked this piece for her channel because she had bought the pattern and I already had it started, and I was like, you know what, maybe this will motivate her to start it. And I think it did. I think she's starting it this month. I don't remember when exactly though. So there's that. Okay, next up is going to be for Stuart from Stuarts and Stitches. His piece is Luna from Nora Corbett, and that is what she is going to look like when she is done. This was from the Bewitching Pixies. The pattern number, like, you know how they all have numbers assigned to them? It's NC 205 if you're interested. I'm using all of the called for stuffs, like the beads, and there's only one Krynic and it's a green. Everything else is DMC. And then there's beads and treasures. And I'm doing this on a 2 strands full cross on, 2/2 full cross on a 28 count Monaco in the color Audi. This was a fabric of the month from Mystic Fabrics. And I did 400 stitches on this. So as you can see, I got more of this wing done here. I brought the dress down a bit, dress or cloak, I'm not sure. I think this is the dress and this is like her cloak thing, but I brought the black down for that a bit. And this is all beads, like all this right here. This is all beads, and that's one of the treasures. There's two treasures in this. One goes here, the other one is going to go over here. So whenever I do the beads for that, the other treasure will go on. I stitch in hand, so it does, like, I'm okay with shorter borders. Like, this is a really big piece of fabric, but normally, like, it doesn't bother me if I have like 1.5 inch border. It doesn't bother me to put beads on as I'm going, because I will I just roll my fabric up. I don't have to, you know, I don't worry about like a frame or a scroll frame or any Q-snap or anything like that crushing the beads. So, but yeah, got 400 stitches on her. Got her necklace done. Her skin tone is still a little weird. It still throws me off a bit, but that's that's how it's charted, so whatever. If it bothered me enough, I would try to rechart it, but I'm not that talented. So I don't want to mess with the skin tone, or she's gonna end up looking like Ross Geller when he tried to do his spray tan. And he ended up becoming an 8 because he doesn't know how to count. I'm going to try to remember to post a picture of Ross Geller's spray tan, if I remember, if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh, but that's what she would end up looking like if I tried to do it myself. Okay, next up is going to be Sloppy Stitch and Sisters. I think I called it last week. I think I said that they were going to be posting right around Thanksgiving unless they were too busy, and they did. I think they posted like the day before Thanksgiving, I believe. But their piece is Cookie Time. This is by Soda Stitch. Super cute piece. I do have this in Pattern Keeper, so I can give you, I dropped my cover photo. I can give you a % complete of the cross stitching. So let me pull that up. I am using the called for DMC, and I'm doing it 2/2 on a, oh my goodness. It's really throwing me off filming on this app as opposed to like my regular camera, because I'm used to like the red thing showing that's recording being like up there where the timer is, and it's not, it's over here, and I keep thinking that it's not recording. So that's why I'm like, is it recording? It is. Okay. All right, Cookie Time. Here it is. Okay. So like I said, 2/2 full cross on a 28 count white Monaco. And I did, where's my board? Oh, it's covered up with the, it was covered up with the cover photo. I did 400 stitches on this, and this is where I got to. So I got the cross stitching for the rolling pin completed, and I went ahead and started, I have my fabric all folded, don't freak out. Some people panic when they see it like folded, like it's not gonna fit. No, it is gonna fit. I just have it folded to make my life easier. So I finished the cross stitching here. I have to go in and back stitch it so it'll look better, because it does look a little weird with the colors, I know. But then I decided to go ahead and start cross stitching this part right here. That right there. So I did 400 stitches on this, and I am now sitting at 2,831 stitches completed out of 15,173. I am at 18.66% complete with the cross stitching. So I think my plan of attack next time this comes out is going to be to backstitch the rolling pin and then continue working on that right there. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Get back in there. Alrighty. Next up, final piece for Flosstuber Frenzy is going to be Fun with Cross Stitch. Sharon at Fun with Cross Stitch. piece is Mermaids of the Season Sal from Bella Filipina. This is from 2023. And I'm using all of the called for stuff. So it's DMC, it's got Krynic, it's got beads, and I'm using the called for fabric as well. I'm doing it on a 28 count. The fabric is from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. They did offer the color in various stitch counts and types of fabric. So I'm doing mine on a 28 count Lugana. Yes, 28 count plain Lugana in the colors Singing in the Rain. They offered it in Ada, Monaco, Lugana, Jobelin, Linen, and they offered it in plain or opalescent, and then all those stitch counts, 14 to 40. But yeah, I'm doing it on a 28 count Lugana in the color Singing in the Rain, and I did not do opalescent. I'm not really personally a big fan of doing fancy ladies on opalescent fabric because of the Krynic and the beads that are usually involved with them, and I'm always worried that it's going to detract from the prettiness of the fancy ladies. So I like doing it on, I'm okay with colored fabric, but I like doing it on like not opalescent. That's just my personal preference. So I will open this up to show you everything after, but let me show you what I did. Okay, so this is going to be a combination of both Flosstuber Frenzy and Great British Bake Off stitching. So I did 300 stitches for Bake Off to get that done. And then I did an additional 200 stitches for Sharon's channel. And it was all in the Autumn Mermaid here. So I got more of her tail done. I've been working on the border because of course the border's got to get done as well. I didn't do any beads in Autumn yet, but I did do some Krynic. The really light, yeah, the really light yellow right here. It's hard to see. Yeah, you can't see that, but I'm going to pretend like you can. See the sparkle? No, but that's Krynic, the really light yellow. So, but yeah, and then this part of the border is also Krynic. You can kind of see it, much easier seeing it in person. But this is everything I've done so far. So here's the spring one. This part, like from here down, her tail is done, I believe. I got to double check the beads, but I believe her tail is done all the way down, like obviously not there, but from there down. And then this is the summer one. I believe her, I got to double, yeah, I don't know. I don't think her hair is done. I think her hair is done, but I'm not positive. But there's the summer. And then here's the lowly winter. The winter has the least amount of stitches on it right now. So my plan of attack for this piece is going to be, next time I work on this for Sharon's channel, will be to work on Winter Mermaid. So I'm going to move on from Autumn. I'm going to move over to Winter, and I'm going to work on her for a bit. So I think what I'd like to do, since this is going to be worked on for Sharon's channel, and right now she's posting weekly. I think she's going to post weekly until the, what's it called? The Big Bash. I think she's going to post weekly until Big Bash is over. And if it's still working with her life and she's enjoying it, I think she may continue with weekly videos instead of every 2 weeks. But I'm going to continue working on this for her channel. And so I think what I would like to do is turn this into almost like a seasonal stitching thing where I will work on the Winter Mermaid December, January, and February. And then in March, I will switch back to spring for spring months and then kind of rotate through them like that. If I happen to finish one of the mermaids before, and I mean like border included too. If I happen to finish one of the mermaids before the season is over, then maybe just move on to the next season early. I say that, and is that going to happen? Probably not. But yeah, my plan right now is going to be to move over to the Winter Mermaid and work on her for a few months. Okay. That was all of my Flosstuber Frenzy stitching. Okay, next piece I'm going to show you is the only piece that I worked on for temperatures this week. That would be Riding the Wave. This is a kit from Creative Accents designed by Jim Warren. So my temperature stitching right now, I have 5 whips, which I am calling my whips of shame because they are all greater than 10 years old. You guys are voting on them as to which ones I work on. But I have 5 of these jokers and I have them assigned to 2 numbers each, numbers 0 to 9. I look at the forecasted temperatures for the upcoming week. And my temps are in Fahrenheit since I'm in the US. If it's 83 degrees, then I take that 3. I take the whip that's assigned to number 3 and I do 100 stitches on it. That's how I'm doing mine. Next year, I'm going to do it a bit differently. I went over it in my plans video that I posted in October, but I will go over it again probably later in this video because I need you guys to vote, but also in my whip parade. I'll go over it. But for right now, the one temperature piece I was able to get to is Riding the Wave. And I'm using all the kit stuff, and it is being done on a 16 count Dove Gray Aida. I did 200 stitches on this thing. Ah! Dropping my cover photo again. Hold on, right way up. Here we go. Okay, and here we are. So I did, it was more than 200 technically because I did a bunch of half stitches in the sky. You'll see the before photo, and then check it out. I backstitched. One horse's face, that's it. I outlined his face, his head. But I also, this blend right here is cross stitching, like it's full crosses. But yeah, I'm working on getting that filled in as well. But yeah, I backstitched. I outlined one horse head. Looks a lot better in camera. But yeah, I did 200 stitches on this. So there's that. Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. Cover photo. All right. That's all I did for temperature stitching. I did not get to portals. 6 portals. I didn't get to that one. I really got to work I still need to do, I don't even know what portal I'm on. I got to double check that when I go over plans. I'm going to have to bust those out. I think am I on portal 5? I'll figure it out. But yeah, I know I have 5 and 6 for sure. I can't remember if I did portal 4 or not though. But I need to get those last couple rotations out before the end of the year. Okay, so then for Gridiron Grind, that was a game created by Kim Hollenbach, and she decided to combine American football with cross stitching. So basically you pick your favorite American football team and you do stitches however you feel like, based off of points, based off of stats. I don't football, but I wanted to play. What did I say at the beginning of the season? I don't football, but I do FOMO. And I wanted to participate. So I picked my local team, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I have 2 whips. I have 1 whip assigned to them and 1 whip assigned to whatever team that they're playing. Both of these whips are for my kids. And I'm, like I said, I don't football, so I don't know all the stats. Like Jessie Marie has all these different stats that she does for her team, and she rattles them off, and I'm like, what? What's that? I have no idea. I don't know. I follow the ball. If I'm not like super into either one of the teams, you know what team I root for? Whichever one has a better looking uniform. So on that note, I am a fan of the Seattle Seahawks. I really like their uniform. The colors are popping. But my team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so I keep it simple. I do 10 stitches per point. And then to make it extra, to throw my little extra crap in there, I do 10 stitches per point for both teams. The winning team gets an additional 100 stitches. And if the score is greater than 10 points, the final score is greater than 10 points, then the winning team gets an additional 100 stitches. That has really come to bite me in the ass. But it no matter. If the Bucks make it to the playoffs, which I don't know when that is. I think that's in January. If the Bucks make it to the playoffs, the stitches will increase to 20 stitches per point. Same 100 for the other two numbers. If they happen to make it to the Super Bowl, do I think they're going to? I don't know. But, I mean, they have surprised me in the past. But if they make it to the Super Bowl, then the Super Bowl will be 50 stitches per point. And same for the 100 and whoever wins. But once they're done, like if they don't make it to the playoffs, I'm just going to catch up my stitching and be done with it. Okay, so I only got to work on one of my pieces, and the one I worked on is for the Bucks. This is Bathy Scaife. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Jacek Jurka. This one is for my 15-year-old, and it is 450 by 451. That is what it's going to look like. It looks really neat. Like when you really look at it, it's got stuff like on all the sides, and it looks like that chair looks like it would be sitting like this, but then, you know, along that same wall, you have like that sink, which is actually going that way. So it's really neat looking when you really get to look at it. And this is regular colors. So I think there's 88 colors. Okay. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. And this is where I got to with it. I did 300 stitches going down this way, as you see from the before photo. And I now have a total of 3,450 stitches completed out of 202,950. I am at 1.70%. So my plan is going to be, again, my fabric is folded up. I don't want to unfold it because then I got to fold it back up, put it in the bag. My plan is working kind of like Stitching Mommy's typewriter method, where she takes but she goes across the top. She picks the symbols in the block, works that color, and fills that block before she moves, and she goes across that way. I'm doing it similarly, almost the same. But I'm doing the 2 blocks, and I'm going down the side. So my plan is going to be, in the future, go down the side to the bottom, go across, come back up, and come back across. And then if the color works into, because obviously I've worked out, if the thread that I'm working, if it works out into the piece, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But otherwise, I'm working down. And so once I go all the way around and I get back to here again, then I'll come back over here and I'll work the next 2 columns and go around again. That's going to be the plan for right now until I get tired of it, and then I will switch it to something else, but that's what I'm doing right now. So, like I said, 1.70% done. I still owe this piece a lot of stitches. Same with Afternoon Tea, which is the piece, I'll show that in the plans, but that's a piece for the away team. That's my younger son's piece. Okay, one more whip to show. I almost said one more ship to woe, because that makes sense. Okay, last whip. Everybody's favorite. Mine too. If it's not your favorite, be quiet. Honeymoon Sunset. This is charted by Honeymoon Sunset, charted by Honeymoon Sunset. Oh man. Okay. Slow down, Jen. Honeymoon Sunset. This is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It is 869 by 649 and it has 133 colors. My goal is to get it to 50% by the end of this year. If this is your first time watching, you're like, wow, that's a lot. I mean, it is a lot. It is a lot. But those who have been watching me plot along. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It's definitely still doable by the end of the year. Okay, so we're in the final month. So my mini goal is my big goal. This is the month I need to get it to 50%. So I'm only going to show you what I worked on. And I did 1,300. I'm doing it to, just admire this for a minute. I'm doing it 2/1 tent stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana, and I'm using the Callboard DMC. I did a total of 1,357 stitches, tent stitches, but still. And I got all the park thread. I got all the park threads worked in. Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay. It's been a day. All right, let's try this again. I got all the park threads worked in. Woohoo! Let's just do it like that. Okay. Check that out. Isn't that fabulous? I got more of the trunk done. Started working on this a little bit. Isn't that great? I didn't think you were going to be able to really see what I was doing, but when I looked at my before picture like that I worked on it last Saturday, and when I looked at the before picture compared to the after picture, I was like, oh, you really can see a difference, because the trunk was like barely visible before. So that's great. I'm super stoked. I am now sitting at, again, I'm not showing you the whole thing, just where I worked. I am now sitting at 277,802 stitches completed. Out of 563,981, I am at 49.26%. That's fabulous. Okay, I'm done showing it because now my arm is tired. Okay. Gracie is sleeping on the back of the couch, and she's super cute. Gracie. Oh, but she's sleeping with one eye open. That's kind of creepy. Okay, so that's all my whips. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second because I need to gather my thoughts and think about what I'm trying to do here. Hang on. Okay, we need to update the boards. So we'll update the Flosstuber Frenzy board first. I need to, let's see. Fun with cross stitch. Mermaid style. I had 200. I'm adding another 200. So this is going to go up to, oh, son of a mother. I do this every time. There we go. Okay. Adding another 200. So this is going to go to 400. What else did I work on? Carla's stitching journey. Christmas rolls. I had 400. I did another 200, so this is going to go up to 600. Siski stitches, rambunctious raccoons. I had 900. I did another 200, so this is going to go to 1100. Sloppy Stitch and Sisters. For cookie time, I had 400. I did another 400, so this will go up to 800. And Stewart's in Stitches for Luna, I had 900. I did another 400, so this will go up to 1300. As you can see, there are only 2 people on my list that are empty. Yoshi. I already messaged him on Instagram. I'm like, dude, post an update already. Night Stitch posted hers today, so I have to go watch it. She posted today, so that's exciting. So she'll be able to finally get some stitches on her piece. Okay, so all I need is Yoshi to post an update, and then I'm Gucci. I'll be able to like get some stitches in on all of them. Okay, next up, the other board we're going to update just a couple pieces on this. Nope. Which one did I work on? Riding the Wave. Ah, oh my God. Okay, Riding the Wave. I had 300. I did another 200 on it, so this will go up to 500. And my goal is dropping from 700 down to 500. So my temperature goals are 1,000 stitches, and then once those are done, they're going to come off of the board because I'm trying to wrap up temperature stitching for the year. They're going to come off the board, and then those numbers will get distributed to the other ones, so I can try to get them knocked out by the end of the month. Then the other thing we have to update on here is Honeymoon Sunset. I had, since my last whip parade, I had 64,538 stitches. I did another 1,357. Yep. And so this is increasing to 65,895. And my goal is dropping from 5,542 down to 4,185. That's exciting. And my percent complete is increasing from 49.02% to 49.26%. That is fabulous. Okay. So that's that. All right. Stay. Okay, so what we are going to do next is we are going to spin the wheel for you guys to vote between the 2 pieces for like, okay, let me talk about temperature stitching real quick for 2026. I'm going to have 3 whips. One whip is going to be finish the shit category, like things I need to get done. Another whip is going to be any whip of my choice, like whichever one I feel like working on, my choice. And then the third whip is going to continue to be a whip of shame that you guys vote on. Those whips are going to get switched out at 1,000 stitches. Unless is it just the 3 that I'm doing? Wait a minute, hold on. What did I say in my plans? Or am I doing 4? Am I doing 4? Where's my plans page in here? Hang on. I thought it was 3, but it might actually be 4. Where do we be? Temperature. Oh no, it's 4. I'm a liar. Okay, so my temperature pieces. One is going to be working on, one of my finished pieces, things I need to work on until it's done. Another one is going to be a whip of my choice that could be full coverage or non-full coverage, whichever one is striking my fancy. The third one is going to be a new start, which will be a non-full coverage new start. And then the fourth one will be the whip of shame that you guys vote on. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I just realized that I don't have all of my, I gotta pause again. I only have 6 of them on here. Hang on. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now I got them all in there. So I had 14, it's down to 13 because one of them is coming off of this list and it's going on to my finish the shit category. Okay, so let's go ahead and select 2. Again, these 2 pieces are going to be for 2026, not upcoming. You're going to be voting between Magnificent Wizard and Gift of the Eagle Feather. So I'll show those in a few minutes. The other thing that I forgot to grab, since I had the video paused, is how I'm going to tackle Flosstuber Frenzy. Okay, so I was chatting with Alara and I was telling her how I was discovering that even though like you guys know how normally I get like a lot of progress on whips. I'm like, oh, I did like 500, I did 600, 700, whatever, right? With the exception of Honeymoon Sunset, where I don't mind sitting down and working like and knocking out a crap ton of stitches, I have discovered I actually enjoy swapping projects at 200 stitches ish. I feel like for me personally, I feel like it's not such a slog to get through. Like, for example, Gridiron Grind. I needed to do, on Bathy's Scaife, I needed to do 950 stitches to get caught up. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm never going to get caught up. But I was able to knock out 300. I'm like, okay, I feel good. I feel good. So rather than trying to knock out 200 stitches on 21 different Flosstubers, it was like decision paralysis was starting to set in, right? Because I'm like, which one do I do? Because I had to do stitches on all of them except for 2. Now it's going to be all of them except for 1 until Yoshi posts an update. I decided that we are going to go back to the basket. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know I used to select all of my projects I was going to work on from the basket. This little basket right here, this lovely little buffalo plaid basket. Still have it, obviously, and I put all of the Flosstubers in here, and we're going to select 5. And because all of these projects, I need thousands of stitches to get caught up on. And what I plan on doing is these 5 people, I'm going to work on their whips 200 stitches at a time and just try to like boom, 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 rotate through them. So what 5 am I going to work on this week? First one up. If I get Yoshi, then I'll just set him aside. Okay, first one up, I haven't even looked at it. Carla's Stitching Journey. So it'll be Christmas Rules. Number 2. Stitching Moon, Ocean's ABC. If I happen to get all of their stitches completed, then obviously they will just get set aside and I will continue through the other 4. Number 3 is going to be Sloppy Stitch and Sisters. That is cookie time. I remember when I used to do this just to pick the projects. It was so much fun. Okay, number 4 is going to be Alchemist Stitcher. She just posted an update today as well, so I got to watch that. Alchemist Stitcher. This is a wonderful time of the year. And then the final one is going to be, is that upside down? It's upside down. Becky's Madness for Crafting. That is Cup of Cheer. So let me pause again and get that stuff. Okay, so voting. For my first Whip of Shame for 2026 temperatures, you guys are going to be voting between Magnificent Wizard and Gift of the Eagle Feather. The Eagle Feather, an Eagle Feather, a Eagle Feather, the. They're both Dimensions Gold Collection kits. You guys have seen these before. One of them is active. One of them I've worked on actually quite a bit. So these are the two whips. So Gift of the Eagle Feather or Magnificent Wizard. And you let me know in the comment section which one you want to see me work on as the first Whip of Shame for 2026 temperature stitching. This is the starting point for Magnificent Wizard. That's my starting point for Magnificent Wizard. And then for Gift of the Eagle Feather, like I said, this one you've seen because it's one of my current temperature pieces. It's my starting point for that. So y'all let me know. You have a week to decide. I will, I'll leave the voting going until my next update, which will be next week. If you guys vote after that, I'm not counting it. But I'm going to leave the voting open for a week. And then that way, whenever I do manage to fill my whip parade, I'll already know which one is going to be the winner. So, on that note, since I have that whip out, let's go ahead and talk temperatures for the upcoming week. So now we're going into plans. Temperatures starting with today, projected highs for the week starting with today. Again, these are in Fahrenheit. This will be today through next Thursday. 83, so start, oh my God. All right, starting with today. 83, 80, 79, 73, 69, 70, so it's starting to drop down again, and 74. What does that mean to you? That means, I don't know what that means. Here we go. I have it in a notebook. That means that for temperatures 0 and 5, 0 came up twice, which means that this piece is finally going to get to see some light. Whole lot of latte. Oh my God, look at this cover photo. Whole lot of latte. This is an old Dimensions kit. This is technically, if I go by my rules of having to be greater than 10 years old, this is not a Whip of Shame because I started this after I started my Flosstube channel, which was in 2018. But I hate working on it. I like the piece, but I hate working on it. But these temperatures came up twice. So this will get 200 stitches. That's my starting point. It's close to being done. I still have to do some back stitching on all the cups and let me see. Stitching wise, I got to do the border, this cup, the words down here. I think there's like some drips of coffee or whatever, steam I have to finish, and a few things that, yeah. That back stitch. This cup is completely 100% done. That's the only one that's done though. All the other ones have like bits here and there that have to get done. But this will get 200 stitches. Riding the Wave. Yeah. Riding the Wave, which I showed you already, but I'll show you again real quick. I'm going to show you the whip. I don't feel like pulling the cover photo out. This one here will get, this one is assigned to the numbers 3 and 8. This will get another 200 stitches. And then, the final one is Gift of the Eagle Feather, which I just showed you so that you could vote. This one here. This one, its numbers this one is assigned to temperatures 4 and 9. This one came up 3 times, so this will get 300. On that note, if I do last week's temperatures as well, because I didn't get to all of my temperatures last week. So this one would be owed 100 stitches, and then 3 bird watchers. Real quick, let me show you that one. 3 bird watchers. Oh man, who bought this kit? Lindsay at Blushing Pink Stitches, I think. Was it her that found this kit too? I think it was her that found this. 3 bird watchers. Yeah, because she started it. This piece here, this is my starting point. If I do catch-up stitching and do last week's temperatures, this one is owed 300. And last week's temperatures would be 100 on this. So if I did last week's temperatures, at least for this one, plus this week, that would be 400 stitches on this. And that means that this goal will be done and this would come off of the board. So I think I'm going to try to do that because I have 400 stitches left to meet my goal. If I do last week's and this week's temperatures, this goal will be done. It will get the 400. So I think I'm going to try to make sure I get that done for sure. So once that happens, then I'm going to take the 4 and the 9, and I'll give the, I don't know which one yet. I haven't decided, but just, I'm going to take this will come off the board. I'll take the 4 and the 9, and they will get distributed amongst these ones here. So I'll, I could give the 4 to Whole Lotta Latte, or I could even give both of those numbers to Whole Lotta Latte because that one is just now getting stitches done. But yeah, so I'm going to distribute these numbers so I can try to I might do that. I might give these 2 numbers to a Whole Lotta Latte so it would have 4 numbers assigned to it. And then, yeah, and then this would come off of the board. So I'm going to try to get that done. Okay. That can go right there. Okay. So, Flosstuber Frenzy. I do not have updated numbers for what needs to be done because I have not caught up with everything yet. So I'm going to go off of, last week I wrote down all of the numbers that were needed. This is not including this past week. So, but we're just going to go off of those numbers because I wanted to get my filming done. So first up, let's do Alchemist Stitcher. Her piece is A Wonderful Time of the Year. This is designed by Ursula Michael and charted by Imaginating. I will go over fabrics, stitch counts, all that jazz when I show the piece. But this is my starting point with it. I don't have a percentage because I'm working off of a paper pattern. Last week I needed 800 stitches on this. She did post an update, I think it was today. So it's going to be 800 plus today's update. We'll see how much I can get done on that. And like I said, if I happen to get their stitches completed doing this little 200 stitch rotation, then it'll just get set aside and I'll continue with the other ones. Okay, next up is going to be for Stitching Moon. I'm not going in alphabetical order showing these, I'm just going by how I have grabbed them. Next up is going to be Stitching Moon. Her piece is Oceans ABC, designed by Krista Hamrick. It's a kit from DesignWorks. And this is my starting point with it. I'm working on the mermaid. As of last week, she needed 850 stitches. I did see that she posted an extra regarding, she does some nutrition videos in addition to Flosstube. I think she posted one a couple days ago or yesterday, maybe it was today, I don't remember. So it'll actually end up being 900 stitches because she'll get an additional 50 for that nutrition video. So 900 for her, because I don't believe she's posted an update since then, like since the numbers I have right there. And then Becky from Becky's Madness for Crafting. Her piece is Cup of Cheer by Shannon Christine Designs. And I do not believe that this count is accurate. I think that there are more stitches to be added to this total, but this is my starting point. As of last week, I needed 1,150 stitches to catch up on her stuff. And I feel like there was an update posted since then. So it's probably more than that. I'll try to have my numbers updated better the next time I show this stuff. But yeah. So that's my starting point for that. And then project number 4 for Flosstuber Frenzy is going to be Cookie Time, which I showed you already, from Sloppy Stitch and Sisters. This piece here, I believe, so my count as of last week was 950. That was including their most, see what I was talking about earlier, how I said I don't mind the small margins because I stitch in hand. Like if I was working in a Q-stop, this definitely would not work, but it works for me. But it was where is it? Cookie Time. 950 stitches, but I did do what, 200? 400? 400. So I believe now my count is down to 550 owed on that. And I'll continue working in that top center motif. And then the final one is going to, for Flosstuber Frenzy, is going to be Carla's Stitching Journey. And her piece is Christmas Rules, which I showed earlier. And this is my starting point. Let me show you the whole thing. That's my starting point. So I'm going to continue working in this section here. And then my plan will be do this section and then move up to this section, which would be the top one, right? Yeah, which would be the top one. And then once that's done, come back down here and finish it off. Like there's, I think, 3 snowman, 1, 2, yeah, 3 down here. So as of last week, I needed to do Carla, oh God, where is it? 650, but I did 200, so it was 450, but I gotta double check. I can't remember if she posted, I don't think she did. So it might just be 450 I have to do for her. I have to double check my numbers. I've got notebooks and everything. I'm trying to get my tracking stuff a little bit more organized for these numbers. So y'all have to bear with me. Okay. For Gridiron Grind, I showed you Bathy Scaife already, this piece here. So I'm going to continue working down. I still owe this one 650 stitches. And the bucks are going to be playing this. I didn't tell you what the score was last week, did I? No, I didn't. Last week, the Bucks played was it the Cardinals? Yeah, the Bucks played the Cardinals on Sunday the 30th, and the Bucks won 20-17. I didn't even go over that stuff because I'm like behind with my stitching. So that was 200 for the Bucks plus 100 for winning, so it was 300. And then the Cardinals, I needed to do 170 on afternoon tea, and I was still like behind from the previous weeks. So 650 for Bathyscaphe. And then the Bucks are playing the Saints this Sunday, so whatever the score is this Sunday. For the away team, the piece for that is afternoon tea. Oh, God. I'm like, where's my tablet? It's sitting right here. Give me just a minute. All right, I'm showing my thing crooked because I usually show it like this, but I'm showing it like this because I don't feel like messing with the lock screen. And my Tiny Decisions wheel flipped my screen. But this is Afternoon Tea. It's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artworks by Randall Spangler. This is for my away team, and this piece is for my younger son, who turns 13 on Friday, next Friday. He turns 13 in 1 week. How exciting. This is my starting point with this. And this one, like I said, was owed 170 stitches from last week's game, plus stitches from previous weeks. So right now, the total stitch count for it is like 710, I think. Yeah, 710, plus whatever happens this Sunday with the Saints game. So okay, what else do I have here? The 6 portals. So 6 portals is by artworks by Rose Catherine Kahn. It is charted by, okay, I'm fixing my screen, it's bugging me. It's charted by Pain Free Crafts. I have worked my way across the entire top, scattered stitches across the top so that I can bounce between all 6 of the portals. I have been going through and doing 300 on each portal, just kind of boom, 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 boom. So I'm on my second round of doing 300. Oh, good. I only have 2 left. I was worried I had 3, and I was like, oh, we're cutting it close. I'll show the whole thing next week, but I do need to get my stitches done on this. So this is my starting point for portal number 5, and I will be doing 300 stitches on this portal this week, and then portal 6, and then I'll be done for the year if like there's a lot left. But yeah, so I need to do 300 stitches on portal 5. Siski is working on this as well. She started in portal 6. Dawn from DM's Crafty Vortex and Crow from Crow Stitcher, they are both working on this as well, and they are both working in portal 1. So if you'd like to see it with more progress, because they are further along than I am, but if you want to see more progress on them, then go check their channels out. Okay, and then Honeymoon Sunset. I will continue. I've been working, I'll show the whole thing when I do my whip parade, but I'll continue working here. I mean, I'll show the whole thing when I hit 50%, but I will definitely show the whole thing when I do my whip parade, but I'm going to continue working on this side. So this year, for those who have been following me all year long, I am now officially on the left side of the project. I will be working on the left side of the project until the end of next year, and then I will move to a different section. So yes, we are done with the right hand side for right now. We'll see how many stitches I can get on that. I need 4,185 stitches to meet my goal. Okay, final 2 whips, if I can get to them. I ain't stressing it. Bake off stitching that I never got caught up on. I'm still keeping them out because it's really not that much left to do on them. Patchwork quilt room, I only need 200 stitches. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? If it was a lot, then I would just say screw it and just set it aside, but it's really not that much left. So Patchwork Quilt Room from Heaven and Earth Designs, this one here. To finish off my bake-off stitching, I need to do 200 stitches, and this is my starting point. And then where I'm going to work at, I have no clue. I may do a little bit, there's some blocky kind of stitching in that section. I may go ahead and just do that block stitching just to get it done. And then the other bake-off whip is Mother Nature Spring. This piece here, this is out of Just Cross Stitch magazine. She needs 400 stitches to get her bake-off. Yeah, 400 stitches to get her bake-off stitching done. So, like I said, I'm not stressing. If I can't get to it, I don't get to it. It's whatever. But I think that by cutting down the number, because I've been averaging, I've been noticing, I've been averaging about 4 to 5 frenzy pieces a week I've been able to get to. So I think by maybe trying the whole switching every 200 stitches, it might kind of keep me more motivated to like kind of cycle through these things and get more stitches done. I'm not sure how much stitching I'm going to get done. I do need to, because like I'm off tomorrow, but I need to do some yard work. Hey, Carla, here's Gracie. Say hi, Gracie. Hi, baby girl. But I'm off tomorrow, but I do need to get some yard work done. I know it's December, but I'm in Florida. So I need to do some yard maintenance. I need to do some yard maintenance. And I need to get an oil change. I need to clean my house. I gotta do laundry. I'm out of uniforms and I work on Sunday. I work in the ER on Sunday. May or may not get canceled. I don't think I'm gonna get canceled. I don't think I will, because we're starting to pick up a little bit. Plus, corporate decided it was a great idea to remove the lab techs. Like, I work in a freestanding ER. I don't work in an ER in the main hospital. So it's the locals treat it more like an urgent care. We do more like point of care testing. So the testing is done like right there. And it's just like machines that run the tests. They're not like pulling the blood out and looking at it on a slide or anything like that. But corporate decided it was a great idea to remove lab techs out of the freestanding ERs. And so now the nurses get the job of running all the tests. We already know how to do it because we only have a lab tech for a certain number of hours every day. So if people come in that need lab work done on the hours that the tech's not there, then we have to do it anyway. But now we have to do it 24/7. So I don't believe that they're going to be cutting back staffing, because there's no way that our patients will be able to get the care that they need if we're in the lab running tests all day. Stupid decision by corporate. I guess they've done it before and they are going to, and they put techs back in there, but now they're pulling them again. So anyway, I'm working on Sunday as far as I know. And then I'm working Monday through Friday in the clinic. Oops, this needs to go in spring, Mother Nature Spring. Yeah, so, and like I said, I'm working like one weekend day every weekend the rest of the year, except for next weekend. Lachlan's birthday is on Friday, so my Flosstube next Friday is going to be late because we're going to go to dinner. And so I'll be filming after his birthday dinner. And then I'm off that weekend, but I'm taking him shopping for new clothes. I'm going to meet my mom. We're going to take him shopping for new clothes. That's what he wanted for his birthday. And then Sunday, we're going over there over to my mom's to bake cookies all day. So, yeah. And in all that, I have to figure out when I'm filming a whip parade. Whip parade might actually be closer to the legit end of the year as opposed to like mid-December, like I have done before. It might be closer to the actual end of the year. So anyway, we will see how all that goes. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. If you like what you had to see and you're not already subscribed, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. And I think that's it. So take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.